to the Triple J Pick'em Challenge. I'm Jessica Mendoza, joined by Jared. Yes, he's back.
Yes, I am.
Can't believe it. And Cory. And I know exactly what you're thinking. Triple J? Cory? Doesn't sound quite right, and that's right, because this time Jayson is gone. And it looks like I'm the only one who's loyal to this challenge here, and that's why I'm winning. Up by 1 point here.
All I have to say is that I'm back.
Okay.
Jared, I carried you so hard.
We're only down by 1. It's okay. It's not even that bad. And Jayson, replace that with Cory. Cory's going to make a comeback for Jayson. I'm rooting for you, Cory.
I got my training wheels on, so there's really no downside for me. I can do whatever I want. So
I think Jayson's gone because what did he go 0 for 3 last week?
At least.
At least.
Well, anyways, let's get started. The first matchup for this week, we have my Oregon Ducks, let's make that clear, versus Cal. Let's see. Cory, what do you got here?
All right, I'm going first. I got to go with Oregon. It's a pretty easy one for me. One, Justin Herbert is probably the #1 overall pick, him or Tua. I could see that going either way. But regardless, just an absolute stud.
Are you serious?
No, Tua's going #1.
For sure.
I think Herbert
close.
deserves that respect of at least being in the conversation. Did anyone think that Kyler Murray was going to go first at this point in the season last year?
Yes. Yes.
He's good, but he's
got
not
Heisman.
that good.
I think that people are sleeping on Herbert just a little bit. I think that he's got the potential to be first overall. Tua can take. I can tank for Justin. How's that sound? I can just lose for Justin.
Okay.
I think that's a big
right.
spot. One, and then on defense, right? They've let up less than a touchdown in the last 3 games. And the quarterback for Cal, Chase Garber, is probably out. And his replacement, Devin Modster, finished 5 for 14 with an interception. So I don't see how Oregon loses to a backup quarterback who really struggled last week.
You went down all of my list there except for saying that Cal's not even ranked. What are we doing here? This Oregon team is going to slaughter Cal. It's not even going to be close. And wearing those nice uniforms we all see, it's going to be fun to watch only because they're going to destroy Cal.
Nike.
All right. Well, while I agree with you guys, I'm also picking Oregon. Upsets happen all the time.
We all agreed on one.
In fact, you're right. You did.
This is toxic.
But I got to fight with you a little bit here, Jared, because you were talking about, hey, Cal's not ranked. Well, upsets happen all the time. They upset number 10 Washington just recently, so you got to watch out. However, the Ducks have won the last 9 out of the 10 matchups, and last year was 42-24 in the matchup. So I definitely think my Ducks, let's make it clear, my Ducks are going to take this one here.
Man, I wish I cared as much as you do about this, but I just really don't. I think that the Oregon will win. I think that they will, and I think that they'll do it convincingly.
Wouldn't be close. It's not going to be close at all. I don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
True. All right, move on.
All right, we want to go on to the next one. So next up, we've got Florida versus Auburn. I believe Auburn's number 7 and Florida's number 10, so we've got a double-ranked matchup here, both in the top 10. Should be exciting. Jared, what do you think?
All right, now I'm going to say this is my Florida Gators, okay? They're in the swamp. 6 players are coming back from injuries. That's insane to have. Even though they haven't been healthy all year, but to have 6 players coming right back, that's great. And also, their quarterback, I understand he's out, their starter quarterback, but you also have Kyle Trask. He's not even that bad. He went 90% completion rate from last game, had 2 touchdowns, 18 for 20. This is going to be a good game. I'm so excited to see it, but come on, Florida's going to win this one.
All right. Well, I mean, it's definitely going to be a good game. 2 undefeated teams going at it. But Ethan, Ryan, will you roll this clip for me here? I'm definitely going to say here that quarterback Kyle Trask is going to face a lot of pressure. They've got a weak offensive line. Also, you got to look at Auburn's one of the nation's best run games. They average 5.3 yards per attempt. I mean, just that means if they're running the ball every time, just on second down, they're going to get a first down. And then you also got to look at Jatarvius Whitlow. He's a beast at the running back position. And last week, a big win over Mississippi State. So, I mean, I just got to take Auburn here.
They got their defensive end, Jabari, back. The beast. What did he get, 18 sacks last year?
He's going to be cold.
He's going to be cold.
He's been out for a little bit.
He's in the
Is that how
swamp.
that
It's
works?
impossible to be cold in the swamp.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with Jared on this one. I'm going with Florida. I think that, one, they've got a huge schedule coming up. It's Auburn, and then it's LSU, and then it's Georgia. So right now is a really good time for Florida to really turn it on, and they've really got to have this right now. Otherwise, the rest of their season's going to look real boom. All right?
Or maybe they're looking ahead too much, and they're just going to overlook Auburn. You never know.
You can't overlook Auburn, but you showed all those highlights over Mississippi State. Florida's not Mississippi State, and it's in Florida, which I think is a huge advantage. And as Jared was talking about, Kyle Trask went 13 for 13 to open up that last game. He's not the starter, but he is very consistent, and he's a definite threat, and he's kind of a game manager. So I think that Kyle Trask will be good enough to beat Auburn. Maybe not the starter that they wanted, but definitely a stud in his own right.
I think he's only thrown 2 interceptions this whole year, and that was in one game. And that was everything. Every single other game, he's thrown touchdowns.
Well, hopefully he's got some time in the pocket this time because he's got some big guys coming at him here against Auburn.
Hopefully. Come on. All right, fine. Let's go to the CSU versus SDSU game, the homecoming game, the game of the week according to Lito. So I'm going to throw us off to Jess. What do you got?
So this was a tough one for me, but I'm going all in for the Rams here. I know it's been hard, all you Ram fans out there, to watch this team die in the second half. They have died in the second half. And I think there's been a lot of factors going in. I don't know if anything is really going to be different other than Patrick O'Brien warming up a little bit, okay? This last game was his first game with the Rams.
Warming up?
He's got to warm up, yeah, to the team.
How many
being a
games does it
starter.
take to warm up?
This
Well,
one.
More than one. You can't warm up in the first game. But anyways, if you look at these last few games that they've had, if they hadn't had died in the second half or in the fourth quarter at least, they could have won those games. They could have. Is that a strong statement?
No, I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Thank you. Yes. So I'm picking CSU. Go Rams.
I mean, we talked about this last Monday.
Don't tell me, Corey.
I'm a believer. I'm going to go with the Rams here.
I agreed with you on 2.
And now it's over. Our divorce papers are in the mail. So we've got CSU, who's getting better. I feel like it. They've got Utah State and SDSU. They both played Utah State very tough, so I think it's going to be a close game. It's at home, which I think always gives kind of push if you need it. Warren Jackson might be back. Having a 2-game out of concussion isn't standard. 1 game is pretty normal for a concussion. Yeah. I haven't heard an official report, so I don't know. But I wouldn't be surprised if Warren Jackson's back. And Manny Jones is killing it. So last week I had some success with some geek culture. So with Manny Jones with the pass rush, you shall not pass.
Are you talking about success with geek culture? All right, we need to look back at last week.
Wait, hold on.
Let's look back at last week.
Hold on, I need to pause. What is that from?
Lord of the Rings. That's
Okay.
Gandalf.
Okay.
Gandalf the Grey. Come on.
Let's look back at last week.
I'm picking CSU, and I'll tell you right now, to quote Star Wars, it's a trap.
There's not very many there.
Wait, was that R2D2 or?
Was that
What's with the
R2D2?
zoom? Why'd you
Excuse
zoom
me.
it?
You said R2D2? He says beep, boop, boop, pop, boop, boop,
Beep,
pop.
boop, shaloop.
That's
That's
what
what
he
he
said.
says.
And you didn't even defend it. It's Admiral Akbar.
It is
And
Admiral
for that,
Akbar.
I am not going to choose
got this
CSU.
one. This
It
one's
is not a
Gandalf.
trap. It is SDSU. You already told us why they're going to lose. If you score 3 points in the second half, you're not going to win a game. You said that 2 minutes ago. Corey, you gave me 3 keys on what the Rams need to improve on, and they've clearly not improved on that all year. And if we're talking about second half blowouts, let's talk about how none of the fans stay in the second half to support that team. And if they're not there, if you don't have insane madness in that stands, they don't have any juice. They're not going to go in there saying, oh, we got to win this game. We're like, oh, what are we fighting for now? It's not even worth it.
Fighting for some pride,
I think
for some
That's
honor.
all they have at this point.
William
Also,
Wallace?
I think that homecoming will have a different crowd, a little bit of more
At
alumni
8:10
who
p.m.
care more.
At 8:10 p.m.
Good point. That's a good
Tell me
point.
I'm wrong. You went to the last
Okay.
game that was at 8:15. How many
Yeah.
people left to have?
A lot.
There it is.
Yeah, you're right.
But this one's going to be different, Jared, and I'll tell you why. Because I believe. That's all it needs. It's
No.
a little bit of faith.
It's not a trap.
a little bit of love. Come on.
No.
All right, Ram fans. Well, that's all we have for you for this week. Make sure to keep your eye on those 3 games this weekend. But first, head to Twitter to vote for me to win this next week. And stick around through the break because Litos and I have Real Talk coming right up.